there, folks. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you can make it. Who's still reeling over yesterday's blue cheese salami? Am I right? Wow. I got to tell you, those flavors, they kind of hung around. They lingered, you know, but I liked it, all right? I'm going to be out there. I liked it. I like blue cheese. If you like blue cheese and you missed yesterday's episode, you're definitely going to want to check out the S06E09 au Roquefort. Today, though, we're going to have to take today's sausage in a completely different direction. I'm talking about a Chinese-inspired sausage with flavors that are very reminiscent of a dish that you might have had at your local Chinese restaurant, the Chinese pepper steak sausage. Now, today's recipe was submitted to us by Al. Some of you may or may not be aware of who Al is. Al is a longtime patron of the channel, and he's a producer for the Two Guys in a Cooler YouTube page. Last year, for season 5 of Celebrate Sausage, Al came to us with a recipe. It was the shrimp and broccoli sausage. And not really sure what to expect. I just went ahead and made it. And let me tell you, it was absolutely delicious. It's a combination of shrimp and pork with broccoli. It was the entire package. Very tender bite, beautiful finish on the sausage, loaded with flavor. And if you missed that episode from season 5, I'll put a link in the description box below. Amazing. Well, this year, Al wanted to follow that same theme. And he said, Eric, I'm working on a brand new sausage. It's an all-beef sausage, kind of going for that pepper steak element. One of his favorite dishes at the local Chinese joint. So, in today's episode, we are going to be making the pepper steak sausage. Thank you, Al, for this recipe. Let's see how it turns out.
The pepper steak sausage is an all-beef sausage. And as you can see here on the left, I've already got my beef fat. It's cut up into small pieces. We don't have to worry about that. When it comes to the beef, you can pretty much use whatever cut you want. In this case, I'm using top round and chuck. The meat where I live is very lean. That's why I'm adding beef fat. But if you can get a nice fatty piece of brisket or some chuck, what you're looking for is that classic 70-30 lean to fat ratio. The original sausage recipe that was submitted to us has us grinding the top round on a 10mm plate and then the chuck and the fat on a 5mm plate. If you want to do everything coarse grind, completely up to you. We're going to go with the recipe, and so we do have those separate at the moment. Right here on the left, we've got our top round, and then, of course, on the right, we've got the chuck and the fat. We want this partially frozen before we grind it, so into the freezer it goes while we look at our spices. And let me tell you, these look amazing. We're going to try to duplicate those classic pepper steak flavors with these spices, and we'll get into the vegetables here in just a minute. So for starters, we're going to have a little bit of salt, white pepper, and just a hint of turbinado sugar. We've got ground ginger and red pepper flakes for heat. Totally optional. You can omit it, reduce it, keep it as is, your choice. We have some minced garlic. You know we're going to be adding that savory umami powerhouse flavor booster, and then some lightly toasted sesame seeds. One comment I want to make about the salt is that I've slightly reduced the amount that we add to the recipe because we are adding other salty ingredients like the soy sauce. The soy sauce that I'm using here is a dark, thick soy sauce. And after doing the calculation, I'm getting roughly 2.5 grams of salt per tablespoon. There's 3 tablespoons of soy sauce in our recipe, so just that ingredient alone is giving me 7.5 grams of salt. And so I adjusted the salt in the recipe to accommodate for that and to make sure that the vegetables were properly seasoned. If you want to watch a video on how to calculate the amount of salt in ingredients like soy sauce, right here in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to put a video suggestion. We're going to be using potato starch as a binder, and we are going to come back with a little low-sodium beef stock. This is beef stock that we made from a dish that we had earlier, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And so there's not very much salt in that beef stock, so I don't have to worry about it. As far as the vegetables go, pretty simple. You know, Chinese pepper steak, onions, bell peppers, both red and green. And if you want to cook this first and add your sauteed vegetables to the sausage, you can certainly do that. It's going to give you a different mouthfeel, a different texture from the vegetables. I chose to keep them raw, so we're going to see how that affects the end result at the end of this video. So let's grind the top round 10mm plate. Nice coarse grind there. Beautiful. And we're going to finish this up with the smaller grind for the fat and the chuck. Great looking multi-course grind. We need to just bring those together because this is all going to get mixed up at the same time. Should offer a very interesting texture when we eat it, coupled with the, raw vegetables. We'll see how that goes. All right, into the mixer it goes. We're making a small batch here, so our KitchenAid stand mixer is perfect for that. This little unit can hold up to about 5 pounds. And in with the spices, give it a little mix to incorporate that. We're now going to add our liquids. And this little container of liquid has the garlic, the soy sauce, and the beef stock, so I just combined everything together. Adding a liquid adds, obviously, moisture to your batter. It helps loosen it up a little bit and will yield in a slightly different texture. So if you add a binder, like we did with this one, a potato starch, you can add up to 10% liquid, depending on the protein. And if you don't add a binder, you can add up to about 5% liquid. Nice sticky bind. That's exactly what we're looking for. This mixture is finished. So at this point, we're just going to add in our raw vegetables. And as I'm watching this footage, I halfway wish I would have cooked it, but at this point, it's too late. We'll see what happens. Okay, all I'm doing is mixing the combined. We already had that nice tacky farce. And I'm loving this right here. It smells great, very festive, very colorful. We're using a 5-pound sausage stuffer from the sausage maker with a 3/4 inch horn. That's the appropriate horn for when you use a 29-32 millimeter hog casing. You don't want to go too big with the horn because it makes that casing a little tight, and you don't want to go too small because it makes it loose. You'll get a lot of air pockets. So you want to find one that fits just right. All right, this is the casing we're going to be using. Also came from the sausage maker. Soaked overnight. A little bit of baking soda in that water to help alkalinize the water. It makes it nice and slippery. And we're just going to put a little water on the horn and get a little water inside that casing. This is just standard sausage making procedure right here. We're only making a kilo, so we don't need that much casing on there. We'll clip the tip and start cranking. So when it comes to making sausage, the idea is to have nice even pressure with your forefinger and your thumb. And you're just squeezing down at the very end of that horn. You want your sausage full enough to where it looks plump, but not so full that you can't link it. Now, obviously, it all comes down to what you want to do with this sausage. If you want to leave it as a coil, then certainly you can fill it a little bit tighter than you normally would. But under most circumstances, if you're going to be linking it, you want there to be a little bit of give, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second when you squeeze down on it before you make your link. We'll clean out that sausage stuffing corn tube. It's a great little tool from the sausage maker. Makes cleaning super easy. All right, so notice how I pinch it on the right-hand side, and when I pinch it, my fingers come together pretty easy. I don't feel like it's going to rupture in my hand. This is perfect, and we're going to twist it 3 times forward. That's going to tighten the casing and leave us with a sausage link that's nice and plump. If you feel like it needs to be a little tighter, give it one more twist. Just be sure not to over-twist it because you could rupture the sausage casing. All right, on to number 2. We're going to pinch it and skip that link. We're only going to twist every other link. So this is the 3rd link. We're going to pinch and give it 3 twists forward. Right here, we're going to pinch, skip. We're going to do the next one, pinch, and 3 twists forward. One thing I often recommend to people who are just getting started is to go through the exercise of squeezing your sausage immediately after twisting it to see how plump it is. If after 3 twists it feels nice and plump, then you have stuffed it perfectly. But if you feel like you need to twist it another 5 or 6 times to get it to that state, then you've understuffed it. You were holding it a little too loose on the horn. Just tighten your grip a little bit, and this is what it should turn out to be. Beautiful, plump sausage. This is going to expand a little bit during the cooking process, and it's just going to get even more firm. But at this state, I don't have anything to worry about because it was stuffed properly, and we've got just enough give where we don't need to worry about casing blowout. There we go. Give it a little squeeze. Perfect. We are going to prick out the air pockets so that the casing can adhere to the sausage meat a little bit better. This keeps pools of render fat from forming, and it also helps with the snappability of your sausage. There's obviously many other things that contribute to how your sausage is snappy, but this is definitely one of them. You can cook this now. This is a fresh sausage, but I'm going to place this into the refrigerator, let it hang out there overnight, and it's now tomorrow. And this is what our sausage looks like. Beautiful color on this all-beef pepper steak sausage. Our little twists have dried up nicely, so we can go ahead and give those a cut and fire up the grill. I think the best way to cook this particular sausage, now you could smoke it, you could poach it, sous vide, anything like that. You can cook it in a wok if you want to. But today we're going to fire up the ceramic grill. Do a little live fire cooking. Lots of different ways you can cook on a ceramic grill. You can put the deflector plates, and anyway, we're going to cook it top shelf, right over that fire. And I believe our temperature right now is about 300 degrees, so these are going to cook pretty quick. Last minute, I decided to add a little orange wood, some barbecue smoking chips here. Nothing crazy, just to give it a little kiss of smoke. I mean, it's only going to be in there for probably max 7 minutes, 8 minutes before it gets to its internal temperature. So we're going to close this down, let it cook, and then give one a taste. now that's one fine looking sausage, the pepper steak sausage. Great bouncy, springy texture when I give it a little squeeze. A key indicator of a well-made sausage. We took these to a final temperature of about 148 on the grill. All right, let's give it a slice. See how it cuts.
We're about to get into the pepper steak sausage. I'm going to tell you, this just looks good. Nice smooth slice, glistening with all those juices, bell peppers all over the place. It smells like pepper steak. I mean, what more could you ask for? Loving the finish though. I got to tell you, loving the mahogany color on the casing as well as how tight it is. I mean, it's well bound to the meat, which is exactly what we're looking for. Oh, wow. Very plump. It's got a nice springiness to it. Okay. Pepper steak going in. Wow. I'm going to be totally honest with you. My brain is having a very difficult time processing this sausage. I don't know why. Maybe because it's used to eating pepper steak one way. You know, you've got the tender beef that's more than likely been velveted and nicely seasoned, the bell peppers. And, you know, when you eat it, you experience it. This sausage is bringing all of those flavors, but in a sausage format. So the texture of the meat is different. The bell peppers, you know, it's kind of all incorporated. I love the spice level. The spice level is absolutely perfect. It's got this little bit of a kick to it, nothing overwhelming. But the flavor of the sausage is bringing the spirit of Chinese pepper steak. I mean, good job, Al. This is the first time I'm tasting this sausage. I'm doing it on camera. And Al keeps messaging me, hey, what do you think about the sausage? I haven't eaten it yet. Well, I'm eating it. This is a great sausage by itself. Very flavorful, which says a lot because I don't normally go for all beef sausage. But the fact that we're trying to imitate a popular Chinese dish and nailing it as far as flavor goes, I give this a 10 out of 10. Extraordinary work. Al, I say you're 2 for 2, and I can't wait to see what you come up with next. Woo! That's so good. I'm impressed. We're going to have to add this sausage to the long list of winners from Celebrate Sausage Season 6. We've had some seriously good recipes this year, some fun sausage. Speaking of recipes, you'll find a recipe link for the pepper steak sausage in the description box below. And if you have any questions about this recipe, leave them in the comments section. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if this is the first video that you've seen from me and you like this type of content, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. We're uploading a brand new video every single day through the month of October, and we got a whole lot more to go. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow, same time, same place, here on the Two Guys in a Cooler channel. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. The spice level, I'm going to tell you, it's perfect. If you want this sausage and you're not into spicy, you might want to just omit that part altogether. But, ooh, it's just adding this beautiful low-level heat that's working with this sausage.